Hi, I'm Ernie Zor, and I'm the voice of this Puritas Springs Software video. It's the 21st in our Frequently Asked Questions series, and it's the first dealing with the Mac computer. I'm using a 2012 iMac 27-inch desktop for this demonstration, but the things that I'll be doing will work on any Mac version OS X, so long as you're careful about the fact that pre-Catalina operating systems, now that would be something earlier than 10.15, will run 32 and 64-bit apps, while Catalina and operating systems after Catalina will run only 64-bit apps. Now, the one that you're looking at now is running Sierra, so it can run both 32 and 64-bit apps, and that's perfect for this demonstration because I want to do both. And if I was hooked into the Catalina machine, I would only be able to do the 64-bit one, so this is actually a good thing. Now, another thing that I could add is that even though I'll be installing Puritas Springs apps, many or most Mac apps are downloaded as DMG or zip files, and you can use these same techniques that I'll be using here for any kind of program. Now, I run into a fair number of Mac users that don't know some of what I consider essential knowledge about this great computer. Now, I'm in technical support, so I guess I wouldn't expect anything different. But anyway, in this video, I'll be demonstrating some handy Mac basics, and you may be surprised to see how quick and easy it is to pick up these basic skills. Finally, I don't have a Mac version of the screen recording software that we use for these videos, so to sneak around that limitation, I'm remoting into my Mac. Now, it's not going to make any difference for the purposes of this demonstration, but you might notice that the screen doesn't look as crisp as you might be used to seeing on your Mac, and that's because my big 27-inch Mac desktop screen is being scaled to fit my littler 23-inch Windows screen, and in the process it's losing some of the visual quality. No big deal. But anyway, let's begin. Let's begin with DMG files. DMG stands for disk image. Typically, you would download the DMG file from some company's website on the internet, and once you download it, you double-click on it to mount the disk. Now, mounting, that's like taking a physical disk and pushing it in the slot. That's what they call mounting. And finally, after you mount it, you run the installation package that's inside the disk file, and you do that by double-clicking on it. It's that simple. I'm going to do it right now. But before I get started, be aware that all Puritas Springs Software DMG files contain 32-bit applications. So again, like I said before, you must have a Mac that's running something before Catalina, like Mojave, Sierra, or High Sierra, or any of the other ones that whose code names I can't remember. At any rate, first, I'm going to go to the Puritas Springs website. Whoop, I'm already there. And I'm going to download the DMG file. I'm going to click on the right here where it says password search. And did I do that? There we go. All right. And I'm going to put in a password. You'll have a password assigned. I'm just using one that I happen to have here. Then I click on download to update. And right down here in the bottom is click here to download this is the adoption disk image file. I'm going to click down there. And because I'm using Google Chrome, you'll see down there in the lower left, you could see the progress of the download. And the file needs about 30 to 60 seconds to download. Actually, it's downloaded already while I was talking. And then I can click on this upward pointing arrowhead, which is otherwise known as a caret sign, and I'm going to select Open. Now, let's see. There we go. It's opening. Now, if you remember Sergeant Schultz on Hogan's Heroes, when he would witness something that he'd rather not admit he knew anything about, he used to say, "I know nothing." Well, I think that's what we saw here. We saw nothing. But actually, I am hoping that something did happen. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up Finder, and I can do that by clicking on any vacant area of the desktop, like over here where I'm putting the cursor, or I can go down here by the Finder icon and start it up like that. Okay, and I was right. Something actually did happen in the background. And this is what fools a lot of people, because they don't see anything happening, but actually Mac is hiding it from you. And if you see here in the devices section, which incidentally some Mac versions call this the locations section, but in the devices section, you're going to see the adopt for disk image. That's the file. I'm going to click on it, and to the right, what we're seeing is the contents of that disk image, and that's the adopt for installation package. To start it or to install it, all I have to do is double click on it. And now I'm going to go through the typical Mac installer screens. Incidentally, I mentioned before that this is a 2012 Mac, so still running pretty darn good. Hope I remember the password. It is still running pretty darn good, actually, considering it's a whatever 7-year-old computer. But it is a little bit slower, so if you have a newer Mac, you're probably zipping them right along. And that was the successful installation. And if I wanted to go in the applications folder rather, there it is. There's the adoption app. I want to start it up. I can double click on it. I am not going to do that right now. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the same thing, only this time not using Google Chrome. Let's put Chrome away. And let's try it with Safari. Where's Safari? Here's Safari. Click on that. I think I'm going to need to get that password again. Now let's see if Safari and Google Chrome are going to play nice. Maybe they're not. There we go. It's starting up. You know, like I said, everything's slower. I'm using a slow Mac. I'm using a slow Windows computer, so asking it to do a lot. What was I doing there? Let's go to... There it is, Puritas. And we are going to do the whole password thing over again. I guess that was too much to hope that it would be in the history list. Oh, no, there it is, I think. Isn't it? No. You can see I'm going through the same steps again. And what's different is that if you notice, instead of going in the lower left, that icon jumped down here, and you can see it kind of in, that's the downloads folder that it's showing, and it's showing the progress. And so then I would just click on the downloads folder down here. Here's that adoption file. It actually has a number 2 after it because I've done this a couple times in a row. But I will click on that and opening it up just like before. Sneaky sneaks, it's not showing us anything. So I've got to go to Finder and go find it for myself. Okay, this is the second one now that I've opened up. I never shut the first one off. We'll get rid of that one. And again, same thing. I can go to the adoption DMG file, double click on the package and go through the installation, and that's it. Now, that's it for the DMG files and the 32-bit apps. Let's talk about the zip files. And while the 32-bit apps come in DMG files, Puritas Springs Software 64-bit apps, they do come packaged in zip files. Now, because I'm already in Safari, I'm going to stay in Safari and I'm going to download a 64-bit app from our website. I think I'll have to find one here. Okay, I found one. I'm going to click on the password search. I'm going to put in a password. Click here to download. Okay, now you see instead of saying a DMG file, it says click here to download the zip file. Okay, let's do it. Same thing is happening. It's jumping into the downloads folder. The time is about the same. I don't even have a super fast connection, I don't think, but you can see it hardly took 15 seconds. Okay, there it is, bouncing around. I'm going to click on the downloads folder, and nothing happened. I'm going to click, there we go. Click on the downloads folder, and then there we go. Actually, it looks like it's doing a little more than what I expected it to do. It says that it's an application. This is kind of a safety thing. It just says are you sure you want to open it? I say yes. And I think what's going to happen is the child support application is going to pop up on my screen. No, it didn't. You know what? I did that all wrong. I'll tell you something. What I should have done is I should have done the same thing I did before, is go into Finder. I'm sorry for giving you a bum steer. And I'm going to go into the Downloads folder. I'm looking for that ROCSG11 zip file. And I think I buggered it up when I double clicked on it. Let's see what happens. No, not doing too good. Okay, anyway, oh, there it is. It started up. I don't know quite how that happened, but that's it. I'm going to try to do that again. Let me quit out of it. And you know what happens is when I double clicked, or when I clicked on the ROCSG11 zip file, what happened is it extracted the app file. And here's the app file right here. It's sitting in the downloads folder. And for me to install this app, all I have to do is drag it from the downloads folder to the applications folder. I already had it installed, but I'm telling it to replace it. It's telling me that it was already there, and that was it. It was that easy. And sorry, I kind of goofed you up there a little bit in there, but that's the way it works. You click on the zip file. I probably should have done it in. I think it's a little more straightforward in Google Chrome. But you get that, you unzip it. The only thing in there, you can't miss it, is the ROCSG11.app file, and you drag it and drop it into the applications folder where it's good then. And then it will also, it wasn't starting up in that remote location that I had for it, whereas if it's in the right spot, it will... it won't have any problem, as you see right there. Okay, well, hey, there we are. Mission accomplished. Now you know a couple different ways to install Mac apps. Aside from the Mac stuff, don't forget, my best ideas are actually your ideas. I'm only taking credit for them in these videos. So if you think of a good subject for a video, please let me know by emailing me at ernie@puritas-springs.com. As usual, I had a super time making this video for you, so I want to thank you for watching. And until next time, be safe, be happy, and I wish you all the best. Take care.